The TWS option liquidity tool is a powerful tool that can be used to submit bids and offers in multiple strikes to the IBUSOPT destination. That destination is used by clients who want to add liquidity and interact with Interactive Broker's retail order flow. Orders routed to IBUSOPT are eligible to participate in an exchange auction to potentially fill against other smart-routed, marketable options orders from Interactive Brokers clients. For more information on the IBUSOPT destination, please see the Traders Academy lesson. An investor would use the Interactive Brokers option liquidity tool to submit bids and offers in between the NBBO and split the spread, potentially getting a better quality execution price. The option liquidity tool has 3 order settings: buy and sell orders, which will continuously post bids and offers. Investors may use this setting to capture the spread between the bid and ask, aiming to continually buy and sell contracts to lock in the spread, and may not be as concerned about market movement if they are continuing to interact with other IBKR clients and get filled on both bids and asks. Buy orders, which will post a bid or bids for the order size selected, and then post offers as orders to be filled until the investor has bought the number of contracts, and then sell them out to close the position. Sell orders, which works the same way as the buy orders setting but in reverse. An investor may use just buy or just sell orders when they believe a market is going to move in a certain direction intraday and wants to take advantage of opening and closing a delta position, sometimes known as a round-trip trade. For example, if the investor believes ABC stock is going to rise, they may submit buy orders for calls and sell orders for puts. As the orders are filled, the option liquidity tool will begin to submit closing orders. If the stock moves in the direction the investor predicted, they may profit from the option trade. When an investor selects buys and sells, they can set up the maximum amount of the delta position they are willing to hold and trade, and choose between closing out the position completely or letting the bids and offers build positions based on those delta parameters. They can choose the number of strikes and choose between quoting calls, puts, or both. The investor can even trade stock in the underlying using the option liquidity tool routing to the IBKR ATS. For more information on the IBKR ATS, please see the Traders Academy lesson. The option liquidity tool can be accessed in TWS Classic and Mosaic. In Mosaic, click on the New Window button, scroll down to Option Tools, and hover over Advanced Option Tools. In the sidecar window, select Option Liquidity Tool. In the top left-hand side of the Options Liquidity Tool, the investor can add which underlying they want to trade options on. Click on the white box, type the symbol they want to trade, and select Stock. Directly below are the Quote panel, Statistics area. Right below is the Trading section. This section is where the investor can configure the order and set limit exposures. There are 3 sections in the trading area: Configure Order, Performance, and Limit Exposure. There are 3 settings in the upper left underneath the Configure Order next to Start With the investor can use in the Option Liquidity tool. Buy and sell orders, buy orders, sell orders. The investor can choose the order type and any offset they want when applicable. The next column allows the investor to make various settings, such as the order size, whether they want the other orders to reduce in size if trading more than one strike, and choose the total group size. Hover over the question mark to get an explanation of what each configuration does. Please note that not all configurations are valid for each order choice, and only the invalid ones will be grayed out and non-selectable. Continuing over to the right is the Performance section. In this area, the investor can see the overall P&L delta of the strategy, as well as the aggregate P&L and deltas if running multiple strategies at once. The next panel down is the Limit Exposure section. In this section, the investor can choose the maximum delta or delta dollars for the overall position, strategy, strike, as well as number of calls and/or puts, and the maximum loss. The limits look at the net values, not the gross. Any choice that isn't valid for the order will be grayed out. The investor may also choose to stop issuing orders or liquidate their position when a limit is reached, or automatically liquidate their positions prior to the market closing. In the following example, the investor wants to set up buy and sell orders in NVIDIA to trade both calls and puts with a focus on two-sided trading between the bid and ask spread, in which they will post bids and asks for multiple strikes, setting a limit on the maximum delta exposure they want, and automatically liquidate their positions prior to the close. First, they start by typing NVDA in the white box in the upper left-hand corner and selecting Stock Smart. Next, in the trading section, in the Configure Order area, they select Buy and Sell Orders. Choose the order type and select the offset. In the column to the right, the investor can select the order size. In this case, they select 10 and choose whether they want the other orders to reduce or to always bid and offer for the full size. Trade options should be checked, and the investor can choose whether they want to trade the underlying as well. In the Limit Exposure section, the investor checks Maximum Strategy, which will limit the net strategy delta, and chooses to set the limit based on delta or delta dollars. Delta dollars are calculated by multiplying the delta by the underlying price. The investor chooses delta and enters 5,000. To the far right, the investor checks the box next to Automatically Liquidate Positions, enters in 120 seconds, and chooses Market Orders. Once the order has been configured, the investor selects the expiration or expirations and strikes that they want to trade in using the Options Liquidity tool by clicking on the white box on the strike line. The investor can choose to trade calls, puts, or both, and select multiple expirations. When ready to enact the Option Liquidity tool, they click the green Start button to begin sending orders. The strategy's progress can be monitored under the Performance section. The strategy can be cancelled at any time by clicking on the red Stop button. An investor can trade multiple strategies using the Option Liquidity tool. Implement an additional strategy by clicking on Tabs in the upper left-hand corner and select Add New Strategy, and a new tab will appear. Type the symbol into the upper left-hand corner, select Stock Smart, and the investor can choose whichever configurations they prefer to use. The investor can also set the global maximum exposure to limit the overall delta dollars for all strategies. The positions built through the Option Liquidity tool can be sorted in the Monitor Portfolio tab by clicking on Financial Instrument and selecting one of the Sort by Strategy choices. The positions will appear under the symbol Options Liquidity in the Monitor panel. The Interactive Broker's Options Liquidity tool is a powerful tool for investors looking to send orders for one or more strikes at a time and interact with other IBKR clients, potentially getting filled between the NBBO while limiting the overall delta exposure of the position.